What's up, world? This is Raul with LiveLOUD coming at you guys again with another episode of Say It Loud. So one of the things that I really love about working in the impact world, as you guys know, I do photo and film, and just being able to travel around the world and work with amazing organizations doing such incredible things. The really cool thing that I really enjoyed about this process is that I worked with people who work in a line of field that is designed for impact. Let's say, let's say therapy. Therapy is designed necessarily for impact. But what I really love is when I come across creative people who are utilizing an art form and utilizing it for impact. So that brings me to today. Our guest that we have today, we have two guests today, is my man Rick and Moy. Thank you guys so much for jumping on the call, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having us. It's an honor and appreciate everything that you're doing. I think covering, impact globally is needed. And so I'm all about the story. So thank you for having us on board.
For sure. And I know I met Rick a couple of years ago when we were in Iraq. Coincidentally, I landed in Iraq. I don't even remember how it really happened, but I put the word out there. And actually, my buddy Ken Fury told me about someone that was running a program over there. I just drove for half an hour, got to this place, met Rick, and Moy and I we just discussed that we met over 15 years ago at a battle in New York, which was incredible. All right, guys, so let's jump right in. If both of you guys want to just take a turn on saying who you are and what you're up to in the world right now.
Yeah, Rick Camargo. I am a member of Havoc Choral, which is a world-renowned hip-hop group. It's how I met Raul in Iraq. So we were doing some diplomacy, really teaching about hip-hop culture and education around the world, and really kind of showing our experience and really empowering the students over there while I was in Iraq. As a member of Havoc Choral, we have about 16 members, and actually Moy is an original Havoc member, and that's how I met Moy 15 plus years ago.
And then, then you got me, Moy, been a B-boy for going on 25 years now, original member of Havoc Choral. Throughout our journey, we've been able to do some cool stuff, meet some amazing people, and be part of, amazing impact on the global scene. But, just very fortunate to just be able to still do what we do and generate impact, man. And I think that this platform is amazing. And I think that it's important for artists to share their story, because without the story, it really doesn't exist. And so story ignites inspiration. And so I'm all about that. And so I'm all about diving deep into not how dope someone is as far as in terms of a skill set, but as people and the things and the struggles and the emotions that they've gone through their journeys. And I think that's what really ignites everything that we do. And that's why I wake up every single day, is that I know my journey, and I think ultimately people have to know their journeys.
Yeah, I completely agree with you with that. Just working, Rick, just see you work and with the group of guys out there in Iraq, and Moy, everything that you're saying right now. B-boying itself, when I got into that world, I think I was 15 years old when I started breakdancing. I feel like slapping my mouth when I say that, B-boying. And getting into that world, what I really loved was that it wasn't some inherited influence art form that came from outside. It really came from whatever was brewing from within. So coming from a place of aggression or playfulness or wanting to experiment, be acrobatic or really dive deep, the experience of battling, standing in front of someone and just showcasing what you got. But what was really beautiful about it, that I guess everyone who really dove into hip hop was understanding how it came about. And it was this thing about unity. It was just before cars and money and all that flashy stuff that's not really embedded into the culture of hip hop. And I really love that you guys are out there in the world really creating something and utilizing that dance form or just the stage of hip hop in the form of impact. How did you guys start this? Because I know dance itself could be a very individualistic thing, but when did it start stepping outside of you guys? What's your story that really inspired you guys to move forward with this?
Yeah, so I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, maybe way back. So I think I was having a call with my boy Flips from Skill Methods yesterday, and we were just kind of conversing on the idea of exploring our journeys and understanding them. And I thought for a long time, what really stemmed who I am and what I do and the impact that we're trying to create. And I just remember being a kid, and I always felt like there were so many situations where I was trying to look for help but it was so hard for me to ask for it because I didn't know how to approach people. I was scared to be like for people to turn me down. I was also a very shy kid, so it wasn't easy for me to speak up. And so like in so many cases when I was a kid, I didn't really have a lot of help. I might have had like my crew to dance around with, but I still bottled up a lot of emotions and a lot of like dreams and hopes of doing big things. And so I remember, as I started getting older and I started traveling and people started to recognize like some of the work that I do, I told myself, if I ever got in a position to be able to begin or start something that can create an impact, I want to be able to help others, and it stems from like helping the kid that was inside of me back then that didn't know how to ask somebody for help or didn't know how to approach somebody on how to approach life or how to approach business or the professional side of things of how we do things. And so like, my ultimate goal with Break Free is for that. Obviously it starts with, providing a space for people that are looking just to express themselves freely first, but then using that platform to be able to build opportunities for other people. And so I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to create a career path off of what I love to do. There's not a lot of people that can say they can do that. And now through Break Free, we've been able to do that. We have a staff of almost, 30 people and growing, and we're constantly trying to build with the community and trying to bring people on board onto our organization, because this is not about one person. This is not about one brand. This is not about one organization, but this is how can we collectively work together to continue to build opportunities. The kind of sad part about it is because it will boil down to a brand. Let's just say it's Break Free, but we're the foundation. We're a platform, and we're building a platform that is going to help a lot of people. And so it's not that we're seeking recognition for that, but if it's us, then let it be us. We understand this world, trust us, join the journey, and let's find a way to continue to build and create, because, a lot of people talk and they talk and they talk and they talk, but there's no action behind their words. And that's one thing that I've always understood about this community, is that it was very self-driven. It was always about one person trying to be the best and trying to, or very cliquish. We stand with our crews, and, the values of hip hop are peace, love, unity, and having fun. And I felt like unity was taken out, peace was thrown over here, and love was only on your side. And you know what I mean? So it's just like, I felt like the values were kind of all over the place. And so, with Break Free, I was really trying to get with a group of people like Rick, Jeremy, and everybody that's a part of our organization to reinforce those values and really represent what they are, And I know that sounds very corny, but that's just the absolute truth. I think a lot of people live in a very kind of self-driven world, and don't get me wrong, it's important to be self-motivated, because if it's not for you, you're not going to get up and go work out or get up and go execute what you need to execute at work. You have to be self-motivated, but you also have to be thoughtful about how difficult it will be by yourself. And a lot of people feel like they can do it on their own, and you just can't. You can probably do so much to a certain level, but there's a capacity, right? And when you have more people behind you, where there's 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, 5,000 people, whatever it is, the capacity keeps building, and then you're just limitless. And for me, like, I want to get to the point where Break Free is just limitless. Like, what we're able to do is just next level, and there's no stopping it. And so the only way we can ever reach that level is through people, and it's not through 5 guys, 10 guys, 20 guys. It's through it's through a community. And so that's kind of the message there.
And what I really love about what you're sharing is that hip hop itself, or even the art of b-boying, is not this product, right? When people portray it to be a product that could be sold, but really what is embedded into it is the community aspect of it, the permission. Like you're speaking about your childhood, or you're like growing up and having a hard time expressing yourself, and there's something about being able to find different forms of expression where you could communicate beyond language. That's one thing I love about the hip hop world, is that it's a global thing, right? But what is it being used for globally? And I love that you guys are having a global outreach, just having a mission that's just really out there, but all about really educating people, because it goes far beyond the dance. It goes far beyond the genre of hip hop, but it needs to be embedded in our own very communities, in our schools, and in the way we interact with our families and all that stuff.
Most definitely. And I'm gonna let Rick speak on this, but I want to kind of intro him on this. Like, a lot of people from like just our circle. I'm not even going to say our organization, but our circle have like really done so much on so many different levels. Like, you know, like you said you met Rick in Iraq. That just shows me how beautiful kind of this culture is and the impact that it does. And, you know, that you guys, you may be from the States or Rick might be from the States, but at the end of the day, you end up meeting in this kind of third world country, doing the same line of work, but in different areas. You're using your passion in maybe video or film or whatever, and Rick is using his dance. And like, we really do our best to circle ourselves up with people that are knowledgeable. So we're not just circling ourselves with anybody. It's people that are knowledgeable in certain areas that are allowing us to scale up and level up. Because I think too, like in our community, we're so used to hearing our boys telling us like, oh yeah, do this, do that. But then you don't see them doing it.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of a sad reality because, you know, I've had certain friends in the past that like, they'll always be family to me. But I also had to kind of branch out to make sure that I'm leveling up, because if I don't see the action from them, I have to step out and really figure out what I want in my life. And so when I would like see Rick and all these guys, you know, traveling and speaking and teaching in developing countries, it takes a lot for someone to do that. No, number one, it's just not easy to devote 2-3 weeks, especially as a family man. I know Rick's is a family man, to be able to travel across the world and just be gone for 2 to 3 weeks. That's number one, the hardest thing to do. Number two is it's almost like you don't know what's going to happen. You're just trusting people you don't know and you never met, right? And it's almost like you're very vulnerable to the situation and you don't know what's going to happen, but you're believing and you're there for a reason. And I think that's key. The word belief is a very key word to us, and because you have to first believe in yourself, and then you have to make other people believe in you. And then number three is, you know, we do it because we love it, man. So regardless of the situations that we're in or the struggles that we're going through, you know, we haven't stopped yet. Yeah. And I'm sure every one of us on this Zoom live right now, we can all share our fair share of the struggles, but at the end of the day, like, we're still doing it. We're still doing it. And that's something that I admire a lot about like Rick and people on the Break Free team and our circle, because everyone is still finding a way to create and build and build and build. And that's inspiring.
Right. And it could be something that we go on our own, right? It's our own decision to really elect that leadership, to be able to take our craft and our love for what we do and push it past convenience, right? Where we're in the space of service, man. You're speaking my language when it comes to this.
Yeah,
I'm really adamant about being able to go in and take that stand. And Rick, I've seen you, you know, since I met you and just been following you, and I see you interact with your family. And I bet, as Moy is saying, you know, the obstacles of being able to step away for not just a day or two, but you're actually spending some time out there for the sake of spreading this message. Rick, where did that come from?
And, you know, it's funny because before I saw you in Iraq, I was there in 2008. And then my son was born and I was on a hiatus. I didn't go back to Iraq until 2017 because of that very reason. I had to make a decision. But that just goes from just me wanting to, I heard this quote from KRS-One. I don't know exactly how he wrote it, but he always said that whatever you do is hip hop, right? You're hip hop. Yeah. So whatever you do, that's going to be hip hop. So whenever I went on these trips, right, you know, we did these tours, I was like, we got to be on time. We got to be respectful. We got to know what we're doing. Because I was thinking long term, like when we leave and somebody else comes and do the, you know, and takes this spot over, I want people to respect that, right? I want people to think they're professional and that we represent hip hop. As little as we do in this world, that's, you know, we're hip hop. So from education, I loved education since I was little, but, you know, I had a teacher one time tell me that he was going to enjoy watching me fail, which was at the time, when I was 16, I just dancing. But now that I'm a teacher, I'm actually a teacher now, and, you know, at the school and doing administration, like, that really, for a long time, that brought me down, but now it motivates me, because now I really want to enjoy watching our people succeed. You know, that's my drive. You know, being ambassadors in these countries, that's to me, that's my calling.
What I love about that is that you had this impression where someone says something to you, like saying that they look forward to watching you fail, and it brought you down. And now you're applying that same methodology, but just in reverse. It's like you actually look forward to seeing people up. Now, when we have someone that goes and tries to belittle us, especially when we're young, before we actually develop our personality and have a sound foundation of what we could rely on within ourselves, man, it is such a loud voice that we hear like, damn, man, like someone's actually wanting me to fail when that's really there. It is just that much more powerful, if not even more, when they know someone is in their corner and saying that they want me to succeed. It's like I got someone that's behind my back, you know. And I really get that also embedded in the hip hop culture, you know, coming from a b-boy crew where we got each other's back, you know, we're there to progress, and it's not exclusive to just us, but really radiate that out, man. So I know you guys are up to something monumental, man. If you guys want to share, what are you guys creating out into the world right now, coming very soon?
Yeah, I'll share a little bit, but first I want to go back to Rick. I think and maybe I'm wrong, but the KRS-One quote, I think, is rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live, right? Yeah. I think that's what you were trying to.
I embedded it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe to me, I was like, I just took it upon myself. I was like, I'm hip.
Yeah, man. So, you know, the world is going through a lot right now with this COVID-19 crisis, and there's a lot of people suffering around the world. You know, some people are taking it serious and some people aren't, but this is serious, man. When the world is at a stay-home ordinance and there's not much you can do, you know, it says a lot when people are losing their jobs. They don't know when their next check is going to come in. They don't know when especially for artists, they don't know when their next gig is. All events are canceled. I mean, it puts a lot of stress in our community. And so, you know, that hit home to us. I mean, we have this project that I'm about to mention. It was something that was in Break Free's plans, but not now. It was literally a year, 2 years down the road. And we were really just moved by the community and the world and everything that's happening. And I just felt like there could be a lot of artists that are losing drive or maybe dwelling on negative thoughts that you know, what's next, you know, because we don't know what's next. You know, it's kind of like every 10, 15 minutes, you know, CNN, Fox News, they have a new update on everything. And right now, things aren't really improving, you know, and so it's like you never know what is the next thing. And so like we wanted to create something that's going to drive some inspiration around what we do. And obviously, like we're really big in the breaking world, and we have a strong connection with the breaking world. And so, you know, b-boys and b-girls love to battle, and I felt like that is the number one thing that was stripped away with events not being able to go on anymore, you know, and who knows when. And so, you know, we really got together as a team and really decided to implement this big online battle. And I know it sounds crazy to some people because, you know, people have done like online contests and things like that, but like we really wanted to make a significant impact. I mean, currently our Breaking World Championship online battle has no sponsors, and Break Free is giving away $35,000 cash. And so it's a significant amount of money, and we're investing into the community, and we're believing that people will be behind it. But I look at the competition as more of kind of the incentive, kind of like the icing on the cake. But we're really trying to build and campaign and just hear people's stories. Like, what are you going through right now? You know, like, how do you feel about Break Free doing this? You know, when the world is taking a step back or making cutbacks, Break Free is investing into our community, or Break Free is doing something of significance, you know. And so it takes a lot for us to do that. It is a calculated risk, and it's truly a give back experience. It really is, you know, although people may have their own views on it, but at the end of the day, that's why we did it. We did it because we wanted to engage with the people that are at home. Like, I know what it's like to be at home for long periods and just kind of sit and dwell. You know, every Facebook post you think is directed to you negatively, and every Instagram post is like, oh man, are they trying to compete against me? And so it's like, we're really trying to enforce those values, as I mentioned earlier, peace, love, unity, and having fun, and just bring peace to mind, bring love, because we're accepting everybody and anybody, unity, trying to get everybody from the community together to share their story and make an impact and have fun, man. That's the battle side. You know, that's the battle side of what we do. This is why we do this. I heard Crazy Legs one time in an interview say that, you know, the most honest thing a b-boy or b-girl can do is exchange with each other. And so it's like, if you and I aren't battling, then we're not truly exchanging. And so at some level, we have to understand that exchange is good. And the reason why breaking exists and battling exists today is because it was an alternative to fighting. Why not continue to reinforce those messages where we stay away from, saying like negative things about breaking because it's still street related, So it's like, let's just focus on the values and what it represents. And I felt, and the team felt, and Break Free as an organization felt that this was the right time to do this. So on the back end, it's a lot of work, but we truly believe that it's going to give people a platform to be able to speak and communicate and express, and especially with like when you take the African or Middle Eastern region, where a lot of those countries are very challenged and they don't have these platforms like many of us, what I consider spoiled B-boys and B-girls, where we have events every other weekend and we can jump on a plane or a car and experience this every other weekend. And so now we're able to see passion, talent, story, emotion, feeling. And that's where my win is. As an organization, we want to see impact. That's what we got going on, man. The 2020 Break Free Worldwide Online Championships, and 35,000 cash is on the line. And it's open to all breakers worldwide. You can visit our website, www.breakfreeworldwide.com. Follow us on Instagram at Break Free Worldwide. All the information is there. Feel free to reach us anytime, and we hope that we can provide the best possible solutions or answers to you. And we're just ready, man. We're ready and we're excited for it.
That's amazing, man. That's one of my favorite things when I travel and do my work. In some of the most remote places in the world, man, I come across some B-boys, and it's one of my greatest joys to just get down. Those few times that I'm just walking the streets randomly, where I don't know anyone, where I don't know the culture, and I come across this thing that's so globally shared, and it's received with such peace and love, and I really want to echo what you're saying about the win-win. Just because we're at service doesn't mean we don't get to win, and just because we win doesn't mean we don't get to be at service. There could be mutual growth type of thing. And I really love, and I'm really impressed that you guys are saying within the last 2 or 3 weeks you guys are doing this, because monumental, man. It's huge. I've been watching. Rick has been sending me stuff to check out, and it's just like, holy crap, man.
We're stressing.
So as you guys dropped the handle about where we could find it. I'm going to plug it into this video so people can see where. Are spectators allowed? How can people watch this, or is it just for B-boys, or what is this like?
The competition, there's a competitor fee for certain regions. We have opened up the African and Middle Eastern region for free, just because we know that for years they have had some challenges, and we want to be supportive for that. And we wish we can do this entire initiative for free, and honestly, we could. But at the end of the day, I'm all about understanding value and investing, and I feel like a lot of the B-boy and B-girl community, they're not taught these things, and so I'm really big in investing in myself and understanding that, everything that I put into myself or to my family or to my business, that I know that somewhere down the road, there is a return on investment. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes, we question the release of money. Oh, is it going to go to the right place? Or you truly have to believe in yourself and know why you're giving and where it's going. And so we really wanted to implement that, just because the psychology of why we do this and why we pay for things is important. Sometimes when you hand somebody something, they don't truly value it because it was given to them. And it just made sense for us to keep that, but make sure that we were able to accommodate to those regions that are economically challenged and have had hardship for over so many years. And so, and for viewers, it is absolutely for free. You can log on to our website. You just got to fill out a viewer membership form. It's free, and anybody can log on. And we're hoping that everybody can do that. And because this really is going to be a live stream broadcast that's going to expand over 6 days, April 21st through the 26th. We have a full schedule of events that is listed on our website. Again, it's breakfreeworldwide.com. So we welcome all viewers, man. We need the impact. We need the engagement. And outside of competition, there's going to be online workshops. There's going to be stories. There's going to be live sessions with community members speaking on professional advice and the business and the breaking world and so much more. And so we're really trying to create a good broadcast for people that are at home between those days. And that way, Break Free is able to at least give back in that way, where those that are dealing with, when is the next event, or are people dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with, that, people are, and we want to be able to share that. And we want to be able to create a platform that will exist, and hopefully people can engage to it. And so we're excited about it, man. And I'm sure all the details that people need, they can find it on our website. And if for some reason they have any additional questions, as I mentioned before, we got customer support ready to go.
That's fantastic, man. I really love that. Again, you guys are utilizing hip hop and extending it out to people past who already subscribe to it, right? It's not a battle. Like, we hear about a battle, and then the hip hop world, the B-boys here, we all go and attend that battle. But you guys are reaching out to something past that. For those people who actually want to get involved, I completely agree. It should be an investment, because it's not just an act of a dance. It's not just act of an event, but the fact that hip hop and the way that it could be embedded into our lifestyles, and like the really core meaning behind it, that really utilizes creativity, pushes you constantly to try to be better, always showing up and try to be better. Working together with your crew, your community, your people, being able to go and represent what you stand for. And it's an experience that's just globally known. And I really love that you guys are doing this global scale of it. So for everyone watching, I'm going to be posting the information for this event. Put it in your calendars. It's coming right around the corner. So make sure, do not miss, check it out. I'm telling you, it is a blast. It is fun to see.
Yeah.
And for Rick and Moy, thank you guys so much for your story, for what you guys continue to do, and the fact that you guys are here. I look forward to for the collaboration and connections, man, and hope to see you guys somewhere out in the world very soon.
Yeah, thank you again, man, and best of luck to you, and thank you for having us on board.
Send you guys much love. Make sure to stay tuned to more episodes of Say It Loud, where we get to hear from more extraordinary, amazing people all over the world doing such incredible things, and we will be checking in soon. Peace.